Hi there. So next we're going to be looking at the particulate sensor, which this little module is part of the environmental sensor development kit that I've been working on with DesignSpark. But essentially what we've done is we've used one of Sensorion's particulate sensors here, which is the SPS30 unit. What this is essentially doing is this has been designed to essentially have the inlets and outlets here, and what I've done is basically made sure that I have a little shroud that stops it basically taking any air or blowing air around inside the white enclosure. So there's a little bit of a technique of sort of producing this, and also some nice design tips about saying that it should probably be face down rather than pointing that way whenever possible. So I'm going to get into a few of those little design considerations, but I thought just because I can't help myself, I'd also show you that I took this apart just to give you a little bit of a flavor of how the thing actually works. So what this basically is this is an optical sensor for particulates, and this little brass piece here is essentially a laser, and you can see this little piece just glinting here in the light. That is the infrared sensor. That means as the air passes through this and over the sensor and through the fan and is then blasted out, it's essentially analyzing the size of the particles into 4 buckets. So the PM 1, 2.5, 4, and 10, if memory serves me correctly, are basically being graduated depending on how the light is scattered from that laser and hits the sensor. So there's a bunch of really, really clever stuff that Sensorion has done to essentially make this such a small package, as indeed one of this blue piece here was an early air quality sensor I've got, and it's really, the package size has got a lot smaller and indeed more accurate. So I really think, even though this video isn't paid or sponsored by Sensorion, it just seems like that objectively their innovation in this space is really progressive, and it's getting smaller and more accurate and less power intensive time and again. So that's why it was the obvious choice for the ESDK air quality project that we've been looking at. So again, if you take a look at the website and various aspects of the data sheet, some of these things to the uninitiated might seem a little bit intimidating. Indeed, HVAC, that's basically sort of air quality systems, often referred to in America, and air quality applications, indeed, such as Internet of Things devices that we've been doing. And what's great about that is if you actually scroll down to the technological downloads, you'll see even things like Arduino drivers and step files, which are CAD files, really showing how much that these things are looking to engage not just with the professional level, but also the enthusiast and the amateur level, to integrate them into exciting projects that they're wanting to explore themselves. So I think this is a really good particulate sensor to get started with, and indeed there's also things like breakout boards and all sorts of other stuff to look at as well. So it's worth noting as well that if you look at the documentation, I can't take any credit for the electronic engineering of this. This was the wonderful AB Open who did all this. But all of these sort of information is documented, and there's some things that you should be aware of, even if you are buying a breakout board, just of the fact that the device does need essentially a little bit of warm-up, and it has this sort of idle time and some characteristics around being woken up and putting back to sleep again. The one thing that is very impressive is that this sensor is capable of operating for over 8 years, and essentially it has some good robustness around sort of, dirt and all sorts of contaminants, which really make it quite impressive for such a, dare I say it, off-the-shelf affordable sensor. Again, looking at the design and assembly guides, it's worth taking a look at also just making sure you understand the differences between the inlets and the outlets, and making sure that you configure them within your product in a way that they connect with the ambient environment in the best possible way. So as mentioned in earlier videos, it's not that you can't breach the recommended advice from Sensorion, but it's just acknowledging whether your application needs to be accurate. You definitely need to take some of these things into consideration, such as the orientation and how close you put things to the vents, and indeed things like airflow, making sure that you get the best way to do that as well. So I'd also say sort of avoiding sort of putting things too close to heat sources. So if you've got any particularly powerful processors, LEDs, things like that, or indeed direct sunlight as well, shielding it from that too. So overall, I think there's some nice opportunities for sort of mounting these so that they're nice and sturdy as well. And you can see from the design that I've created, that's certainly a good sort of base standard to build into your products with 3D printing as well. So I thought I'd just finish by saying as well that what some of the things that are interested about observing particulates is that it's essentially looking at the particle size, it's not looking at the particle chemistry. So this is why putting things together as part of a suite of analysis from the VOC sensors, which are looking at the chemistry as well as the particulate, that's giving you a good overview of the types of things in the environment. And even if it can't pinpoint chemicals exactly, it's giving you a fingerprint of the air quality or indeed pollution that might be in that environment as well. So I hope this is a good overview and has been useful. Please do post any questions you have below, and thanks for watching.